Okay, been a few days. I'm now in the shifted all my tools and everything down to the backyard because I don't know whether I've explained. I have actually. I know I've explained we're shifting. But I had to get out of the main big shed on the farm. So we've got the Macks in the backyard, the D7s in the backyard, the Geisha girls even in the backyard. And well, hang on, I'll turn around and there's the front yard. So done a few mirror repairs. That one there's all back on and done, and so there's the other one. Repaired the clearance lights, etc. on them. Not really much to say. We've sort of been busy trying to work out these aerials and shit, but they're that cheap they're not even worth fixing. There's a new radio aerial, driver's window out of the truck. There's a track on the bottom was rusted off. So I've got the new track here, but I'm missing the felt bit that goes in it. So what I found is sheathing of electrical cable. It's off 6mm I think, red and black. So if I come over to my electrical box, this sheathing here, so that's 6mm, twin, red and black, whatever you want to call it. That's what I'm using at the end of the track. Now I have test fitted this up here. Put that in and pulled it on with pulled it all together with the clamp. I'm just going to do it again with some Sikaflex and see how it works out. Well, this is the end result. Now, that's one I haven't pulled apart yet, and I won't pull it apart. This is the left-hand side. The longer track is on the side. It's curved up the top. This here goes where the quarter vent goes. So I've got the longer track matched with the curve up the top, and there's the quarter vent side over there. Hard to believe how long all this takes. We've got the all the clearance lights and the aerials and everything all threaded in and down and around and up and wide off. The aerial comes out up the top up there to go into the console. And the same on the other side for the UHF. Window washer bottles in and working, and there's a long list of things I've done, but geez, it doesn't feel like I'm getting anywhere. That's what we're about to do, put the orange flashing light on top. I noticed when I shifted it the other day, and I've never really looked before, but I don't think the airbag was working on the cab. if the airbag wasn't working, that might go a long way to explain the rough ride that you get. And it may never have worked since I've owned it. So before I put the floor and that back in, I'll pull this plate out that I made years ago. Have a good look at it. Make sure it is working. The dash is sort of all there, but I want to pull out all this stuff under the dash here, get it all out. And I've got Dynamat to go up in behind there. And on the back walls, on the doors, and the roof. I've got spray tar around the inside of the roof up here. So it's sort of, yeah, spray some tar in around here. And that's probably about, then it can all go, then that's sort of it. I think everything's working. Every light's working. Yeah, I did have a small air leak on the air start tank and had one of these, whatever you call them. But I don't particularly like these fittings. I've never had them seal up any good for any long time. Like, they work 99% well, but not airtight all the time or watertight. So replace that with the brass one with olives. So when we pull this dash out, we'll have a gander. I'll mount the flasher cans, but it's always been hanging like that, but I think I will do a bit better than that. But there is quite a bit of work in it all, getting it all neat and tidy, and rather than just shoved in there. Okay, I've often wondered how the airbag on the cab works. I've never looked at it. I've come to the conclusion that it doesn't work. Now, an air suspension seat, because I've never seen a valve on the seat, but it doesn't seem to work really right, and now I know why. So what I found is valve here, when there's air supply goes into the valve, that's air coming out of the valve. When the cab needs to lift, it pushes the little arm down up here, and air comes out. When it goes the other way, it lets air back out the drain. Now this here had a T on it, and one half of the T went off to the seat, which was never going to work right, and the other half went around to the airbag, which wasn't blowing up. And not only that, this mechanical linkage is hooked up in such a way that even when the seat's down, even when the cab's down like that, it's still in the neutral position, or the at right height position, or whatever the hell you want to call it position. This is underneath. This linkage here connects to the floor of the cab. Okay, when the cab's too low, it pushes down, it lets air in. That's at right height, it pumps it back up until it's at right height. And then if it gets too high, it lets air out, back down. And when it's at right, when it just goes in as it's set, it just sits there in the neutral position. So that's a problem. So this one here comes up to the seat. It came out of the valve into here. And then that one there goes out of the T around to the airbag, which is absolutely useless. Well, the seat one is anyway, because, well, someone doesn't know what they're doing when they did it. And I would think you need you need one of those valves on the seat to put the seat at the right height, wouldn't you? Or is that just me being silly? I need one of these valves in here, or some type of valve like that on the seat, to put it at the right height. I wonder if it's got such a thing. This is the back of the seat. There's the air hose that went down through the floor. We'll met the other one. It's got no valve, it's got no nothing on it. It's got an airbag up in there, which would have never worked. Okay. So we're going to see the airbag there. We'll I've replumbed it how I think it should be, and we'll see what happens. Oh, look at that! Oh, look at that! It's like a lazy man's ride, this one. Oh, so sexy! Wonder how it's meant to be set now. Oh, Oh, look at that. We can go a long way out. So you'd think it'd have to be like that, wouldn't you? So if we go, say there's 3 fingers when it's fully up, 3 fingers between the stopper and the, what's the name? I reckon if you go down to probably 1.5. See what it looks like on the outside. I just dropped this bonnet down and we'll see how these stripes look. Shut the door. How's that look? Apart from sexy. That looks pretty good to me. Now the airbag works, I wonder how it'll ride. It can't hurt it. So after much fun arkling around, the air suspension on the cab works for the first time. Ever since I've had it, I reckon. No, definitely ever since I've had it, it's the first time it's worked. And no doubt a long time before that as well. And all this is done by the mechanics not knowing what the hell they're doing. How the hell couldn't you work that out? I'm not trained, and I could work it out in 10 minutes. What the problem was when I actually had a look. I just assumed it rode this rough. Anyway, we'll get underneath and have a proper look. I'll show you. Okay, the first thing I noticed, you can see it all here, this rubber stop was actually over here, on this bolt. Now, I didn't know what the cause was, or wasn't, but it just didn't look right to me, so I've adjusted it back to the big flat area to sit on. Now, look how far to adjust it forwards. Look at how far to adjust it forwards and sideways. This rod here, okay, I thought I'd just undo this nut on the bottom, because that's where the, look at it, there we go. And get the, and unwind it a bit to extend it, but it just fell off the end. And the other end looked about the same. And when I got it, I pulled it right out there and had a look. And I could see it was all bent up here. It was bent here. So I straightened all that out and went maybe a little bit further till I reckon. So we've got, oh, about that. Don't know, I reckon we could possibly even go more, you know. But the reality is we've actually got some clearance there. I reckon it could probably go some more. It's actually working though, for the first time. Now I've got take 2, take 3, take whatever it is. I got, I don't know, I can definitely fit, it's probably 1 inch of clearance on the rubber stop. So it needs to, so you can see it's almost in a droop position where it'll let more air back in. It's just taking a fair bit of stuffing around to get it right, where I think it should be. Now I can just imagine what's happened. The truck driver once has complained to someone, "Yeah, it rides rough," and no one's ever bothered to actually check what the problem is. They've just put a new seat in there to quieten him up. Never hooked the seat up right. Wonder how much smoother this is going to make it. So it rides fine with the trailer on, just no good without one. Anyway, so it's done. I think I said on a post somewhere it takes 10% of your time to do 90% of the work and 90% of your time to do 10% of the work. Well, I've almost finished, but by Jesus, it's taken a while. So we've got the heater and what would be normally the air conditioning if it was actually connected. The part's there in the dash. So I pulled all that out. It's taken me a few hours, most of the afternoon here, to discover that there's 4 bolts on the back here that you've actually got to pull out from inside the firewall. So, and the reason we're pulling it out, one is I want to seam seal it a bit better than what we did on parts of it, because I can see daylight there. Around a few of these, I want to seam seal it a bit better than we did, because I can see daylight around some of these joins here. So we might as well do as best as we can. Another one is I want to put Dynamat in all the way around and Dynaliner. And then we've almost got this one here made. The door trims are all made. The carpet's made. So I've got one more bolt over here to pull out before all the cardboard will come out. Then this old Insul wool. Then we'll pull it all out. We'll pull it all out and give it a clean up. Then we'll Dynaline it, Dynamat it and Dynaline it. Dynamat the doors, the back of the cab, the roof. And hopefully the Dynaliner is supposed to keep the heat out, so time will tell whether they're full of crap or not.